You're now tuning into the Who and How Club with your host, Eris Dejan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Who and How Club. It is your boy and your host, Eris Dejan, checking in once again. Happy New Year, happy 2020. I think I said that on the last episode, but last episode was sort of like a check-in. It wasn't a solo episode. It was actually an episode with a guest. So I did a little intro, just letting you guys know, wishing everyone a happy New Year, wishing that everybody had a safe holiday. And then we got right to the interview, which was with Jay Jolie, who we'll get to in a second. But yeah, this is me checking in. We are officially 16 days into the new year, and it is January 16th at 1:30 p.m. And I'm just here talking to everybody, checking in with you. Feeling a bit rusty. I'm feeling a bit flustered. I got a lot going on in the brain and the heart and just externally. Very, very busy. It's a very busy time for the podcast and just Eris in general. So hopefully I could bring everybody up to speed. Like I was mentioning that on the last episode. Well, before we get to that, just remember to follow the Who and How Club on all socials at Who How Club and on the website whohowclub.com. And you'll get all the latest news on events and blog posts and all of that stuff. What else? What do we need to cover today? So last episode, this is episode 19, almost at 20 episodes, and I think that'll be a pretty dope milestone for me and the club in general, just being able to be 20 episodes in and the amount of accomplishments that we already have under the belt and how much hard work this has gone in, or how much hard work has gone into this project and this show, this concept, this movement. I think it's all worth it at the end of the day, and I have no regrets on anything with how all of this is going. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it being 16 days in, I want to bring everybody up to speed and just, touch base. I want to take some time out, some special time out right now to thank everyone who attended our first official event for the new year. Which happened on Friday, January 10th, which was the Who Are You Part 2 event. We had a great time. We had a lot of people who came out, a lot of prizes won, a lot of people just dancing and communicating. I want to shout out to the performers. We had performances by Jeff Rolston and Mitch. Mitch, I don't know your last name, so bear with me on that one, but Jeff is my boy. We've been friends for about 5 years, and he's a poet and author, and he came through and did his thing. He was sort of like the feature of the night. I didn't get to interview him in the moment, which is what I had planned on doing. I wanted to interview him in front of everyone and do sort of like a Q&A, but I had to read the room. Sometimes you just got to read the room and feel the energy out and feel the vibe and understand whether or not this is the right environment for that type of experience or not. Also, it was getting kind of late. A lot of people showed up really late. Not too late, but just too late to have a Q&A. You know what I'm saying? I think at that point people had some drinks in their system and they were ready to dance and party and just celebrate. But they loved Jeff. Jeff brought some really deep topics and deep words to the space. And you could tell he was speaking from the heart and from his own experience and his own perspective when it comes to being the man that he is and just living the life that he has and living in the city that we live in. So shout out to Jeff. You could always find him on my Instagram at only1eris, and you can connect with Jeff and maybe get in touch with him and buy his books. We gave a couple books of his away that night as well. So there was that, and then Mitch opened up the night, and Mitch is a person who I recently met, but I feel like I've known him for a while, and our connection is pretty dope, and we're about to do some business together, which I'm going to talk about soon. well, later on in this episode, actually. But Mitch did his thing. He brought his guitar and he spoke to the people. And Mitch kind of reminds me of me in a way, just like a full-blown white version of me. But he's very unique when it comes to his brain and the words that he chooses to speak. You could tell that he thinks before he speaks. And I've been told that about myself as well. Except when I'm angry. When I'm angry, I might say some things, but I'm sure we're all guilty of that. Or sometimes when we're flustered or we're full of emotion, we don't know how to express it or convey it. So other things come out that we don't mean, that aren't meant to come out, let's say, or what we didn't initially mean to come out. But all in all, I mean, it was a great event. And I want to send a special shout out to just everyone who was involved. Shout out to Athena, who was at the front taking care of everybody coming in, who gave them their raffle tickets and took care of coat check and everything like that. She set the tone. You know, when you first walk into a place or a space, it's that first introduction that will make you feel welcome or make you feel like, you know what, this isn't a place for me. So I think Athena did a great job in setting a positive tone and a welcoming tone. And we had the Who and How Club banners there posted up, and it was just like a really dope event. A lot of people won some shirts, some beauty products from Athena's line, Goddess Glow. They won an interview with me. That was one of the raffle prizes. So we got somebody coming up on the next episode who actually won an interview with me on the Who and How Club podcast. So we'll be announcing that online within the next like day or two. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. And like I said, they won a couple of free books from Jeff's library, I guess. So anyway, another person that I want to send a special shout out to and big thank you was to Jay. Now, Jay was on our last episode, so if you want to get to know who Jay is, you could go back and listen to episode 18. But without Jay, I mean, we wouldn't have had a great venue for the space. And, we made some really great connections that night. A lot of people came through, spent their money, not only at the front door, but also for Jay's bar. And I felt like it was good business for him as well. And, he allowed this event to happen. From the moment him and I met, we said, this is what we want to do. It was a short period of time, of course, but within a short period of time, we got it done. So special shout out to him and all of his help and his support in this event, especially for it being like one of the first events coming off of the new year and everybody's kind of tired out and just getting back to work. A lot of people came out on a Friday night and it was dope. So shout out to Jay. Going back to my connection with Mitch. So, Mitch and I have decided, Mitch has his own, event series that he runs on Monday nights in the city of Toronto, downtown on College. And it's called The Middle of Nowhere. And I've posted about it before, so you could always go online and check it or follow Mitch on my Instagram to get more familiar. But he's created a space that, provides live podcasting and more artists and people to just connect. And it's sort of like it's really for independent artists and creatives to come together and perform and share their pieces of art, whether you're a comedian, a poet, singer, rapper, it doesn't matter. If you care about art and you're in some sort of creative space, this is a dope place for you to be. So I got introduced to Mitch just by invitation. And the first two times that I showed up at the Middle of Nowhere, I wasn't able to perform for many reasons. Many things just got in the way, but I never stopped coming. I said, you know what, I'm still going to come through and share my pieces of poetry. Now, for those who know me, when I write, I'll write on the day of that I'm performing, especially when it comes to poetry, because I feel like my feelings and the energy needs to be current. I can't really tap into my past in that way because I'm just not feeling that anymore. You know what I mean? When I go and present myself to a new audience, I want them to feel who I am in that moment. They'll get to know me eventually, through conversation or through connection or follow-up. But when it comes to being in new environments and just performing for the first time or just, tapping into my poetic, energy, I write the day of, so that whatever I'm feeling in that moment, that's how I'm going to convey it to the audience, and they're going to feel that energy and those feelings that I'm feeling, and that experience, that raw experience and talent. But long story short, with the connection that I've made with Mitch also has other events and venues going on within his circuit, and he approached me about offering the Hu and How Club their own residency. There's another venue that he's connected to called the Blue Moon Lounge, which is also on College. And he said, you know what, Eris, I got this empty spot. I'd love to fill the spot with, something creative, something different. And would you be interested? Right off the bat, what's the word I'm looking for? I was definitely appreciative. There was no hesitation. I had some fears attached to it, attached to my answer, because I wasn't sure how quick Mitch would want me to get this started, or what his expectations were. But I knew at the end of the day, I was just going to say yes, and I was going to go in for it. So I said yes to Mitch, and now the Hu and How Club has their own residency at Blue Moon Lounge, which is located at 648 College Street in Toronto. Now, College Street is pretty much a dope strip, especially when it comes to creative spaces. I had a dream of always having sort of like my own thing on College, and I've done events myself on College Street, so it's kind of funny that everything comes full circle, and now, the Hu and How Club, this idea that I brought out of my mind into reality and created this movement, is going to have its own residency, and I'll be able to create my own tone, and provide a creative space for people, not just people who are artists, but just everyday people that want to be around creatives and that creative energy, and maybe tap into some creative energy that they haven't yet. But I want to be that spark. I want to be that thing that sparks that creative energy and those talents, those powers that people might not know that they have, and just get people comfortable with sharing. So, at his venue, there are a lot of live bands and performances and stuff like that. But I told him, and I decided that I wanted to create something different in the city, something more unique, that's separate from just performances or music, because I do that all the time. There's a lot of that going on, but I want to bring people together and sort of, build bridges and network in creative ways. So we got the first event happening on Tuesday, January 21st, and I called it Rampage. The reason why I called it Rampage, it's sort of like a play on words, okay? So it's going to be a creative writing evening, an evening filled with creative writing. Like, people will be able to connect, but through creative writing. And we're going to do some creative exercises and stuff like that, so that people can share and get to know one another, and also get to know themselves, and not be afraid to be in a brand new environment with new people. Funny thing is, I had a dream last night that it was a success. So that's to show you where my mind and my energy is at when it comes to this stuff. I'm really excited. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted a residency, and the universe has provided and answered back. So it's about time, and I think it's a great way to start 2020. I have a lot going on. Who Are You Part 2 just passed, and now we're getting into Rampage. So Rampage will be, like I said, next Tuesday, January 21st. The Hu and How Club will be pretty much presenting bi-weekly events at this venue. So every 2 weeks, we're going to have a new event. It won't be Rampage all the time. It'll be maybe an open mic. It'll be different themed events that I'm coming up in this crazy brain of mine. Someone recently just told me that your nickname should be The Idea Man. And I told them, like, that would be a villain name for sure. If it was like a comic book or something. But yeah, so Rampage is the first one. The reason why I called it Rampage was because, you know what, just come up to the event and I'll explain everything in person. But the first event is Rampage. I already posted it online at Hu How Club and at Only One Eris on Instagram. And the event will be on the website as well with all its details, huhowclub.com. But come out, find out what Rampage is all about. We're going to be doing some creative writing and some connecting and some bridge building and just networking and just figuring out who we are in a really dope space. So shout out to Mitch, shout out to Jay, shout out to Athena, shout out to Jeff, and of course, shout out to Only One Snacks. DJ Snacks, he provided the tunes at the Who Are You Part 2 event. And I'm blessed to have this guy in my life because he's been here. It's been years and years and years since we've known each other. And we've also spoken about stuff like this. And I really, truly feel that 2020 is everyone's year. And I could smell it in the air that this is a year of change for a lot of people, including myself. And I'm learning how to adjust. Even if things aren't, there have been a few things these past 16 days that haven't worked out, and I know that I gotta just trust the process and trust the universe and have more faith. But I hope to see everybody next Tuesday at Blue Moon Lounge. Just Google it. It's 648 College Street in Toronto. The timing for that is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's also a free event. So there's gonna be a bar on site. You guys could come through, get your drinks, and we're gonna have fun and just meet me. I'll be hosting again, and just spearheading and facilitating these sort of creative events. So keep a lookout. And again, thank you for all of your support. I appreciate it. I don't know about you guys, but I love eating healthy, especially as a creative. I think us creatives, whether you're a rapper, poet, dancer, whoever, we need to start. We might eat healthy, but we don't promote that or let everybody know that we do eat healthy. So I've been on my healthy tip for a while now, and Good Food has actually helped me out with that. Now, if you haven't heard of Good Food is a weekly grocery delivery service. They actually offer a once-a-week subscription service where they deliver all the fresh ingredients you need to make delicious meals at home in exactly the right proportions. They've actually designed the experience to teach you fun new recipes, discover new ingredients, save prep time, and also reduce unnecessary waste. All their food is strictly healthy, 100% healthy foods. And, I've had a lot of fun just making new things and coming up, seeing all the new recipes and testing out my cooking skills. I am a customer of Good Food, so I would suggest you guys try out Good Food if you're into the whole health mode, energy and stuff like that, especially us creatives out there. Rappers need to eat good too. So do all of my fellow creatives. We all need to start eating a bit healthier, especially for 2020. So if you use promo code ARIS45, you'll actually get a discount on your first order. I'm also looking for some people to give out some free delivery boxes. I've already gotten a lot of people some free deliveries through connecting to me and being a part of my mailing list. So holler at me if you're interested in testing out Good Food. Don't be afraid to look them up online, makegoodfood.ca, and you could get more involved with the Good Food movement as I have. Once again, that promo code is ARIS45, and you could put that in to get $45 off of your first meal, or first order, and you can also test it out by getting some free boxes delivered to your door if you go through me. So holla at your boy Aris Dejan, and let's eat healthy together. Now let's get back to the show. Now, with that said, I don't know why I keep saying with that said. I think I say that a lot on the show, and I don't even know why. But as mentioned before, which is what I actually mean to say, we're 16 days in. With the last episode, I didn't get a chance to sort of delve into this. But I think it's still early enough. Like, I'll be saying Happy New Year to people that I haven't seen in a while, or I'm only seeing for the first time for the next, few more weeks, right? That's usually how it goes. When it's a new year, you say Happy New Year to someone you just haven't seen yet, so that you can actually get that Happy New Year saying in. So we could still start this, even though it's 16 days in. I want to know what everyone's New Year's resolutions are, or if you have any at all. Email us at whowhowclub@gmail.com and let me know what your resolutions are, or you can DM us at whowhowclub on Instagram. Send a quick DM or a comment, and actually I'll post the question in my stories, and you guys can let me know what your what your resolutions are. And if you do that, then I'll mention you on the show. And then hopefully people could follow up with you, and maybe I can answer some of your, make some commentary, give some commentary on your resolutions. Hopefully there's some resolutions that I can relate to. I do want to share a few resolutions with you guys that I have at the moment. Resolution number 1 for 2020 for Aris Dejan is to not take any crap from anybody. Now, I know that's pretty corny and that's easy to say, but I don't just not want to take crap from anybody. I also don't want to take crap from myself. I find that I'm pretty hard on myself, and I need to just set myself free from that and not hold things against myself, and not be so hard on myself, and not, judge myself the way, just because somebody else is judging me a certain way, or, you know what I mean? I don't want to take crap from anybody, including myself anymore. I want to stand up for myself more and face my fears and speak and not hold my tongue for anybody. Not to say that people are giving me crap. Not to say that whatever happens, if there's something that happens and I don't agree with it, doesn't mean I need to consider it crap. But you got to know your worth. And I think there's been a long time, it's been a while since I understood or accepted what my worth was or is. And I think my worth has definitely changed over the past few years, especially with being in relationships that I've been in, and mistakes that I've made, and good things that I've done as well. All of those things make me and make you who you are today. Your experiences, what you see, what you taste, what you feel, what you see, what you hear, what you do, and what's done onto you as well. So I think I need to stop allowing things to just happen and control me, and take more control over situations and be more emotional intelligent. I think I already am, but in certain moments you're so heated, especially in professional moments, that you don't express yourself in the best way. But you need to get things off your chest, and if you need to do that, you need to be fearless in that, and don't allow other people to control or hold you back from saying things or being the way that you are and that you are meant to be, especially if it's the right way. I'm sick of making mistakes. I'm sick of doing wrong things, and when the opportunity to do right is right in front of me. So that's one of my resolutions, and I don't know if any of that made sense or if anybody can relate to that, but yeah. A second, and also I think, going back to that, I think it's important that we don't let the past creep up on us. We're so far ahead from our past. One of my rules is you got to remember how far you've come. So in 2020, we're not going to let the past creep up. We have to remember how far we've come, yes, and reflect. But bringing our past into our present and letting it rule our present to eventually shape our future, we got to put a stop to that. And I'm victim of that. So I'm putting a stop to that as well. Another resolution that I have is to have more faith. Now, lately I've been trying to keep the faith even more so than ever. Not to say that this provides me with more faith, but I have been going to church every Sunday. It's a new church that I've been attending. I'm not really a churchy guy. I'm not a religious guy. But going to this church has actually brought a family member and I very close. It's something that her and I do. It's one of my cousins, my baby cousin. And, she would go to church by herself or with some of her friends and stuff like that. And I wasn't really, it never clicked in my mind that, hey, maybe I could use church as a way to connect with my cousin. Finally, recently in late 2019, I said, okay, you know what? Let me go to church. Let me see what it's all about. Let me make sure my cousin is good and she's protected and in a positive and healthy environment. And let me tell you, man, I got sucked in. But not in a cultish way or this is the answer for me. But when I go every Sunday, it provides me sort of like a routine and the opportunity to connect with my cousin over God and energy and, music and just letting go and, being able to check in with the family and go to see my aunt and my other cousins after church and my uncle. It's becoming like a routine, and I think it helps. It really, really helps. And it's helped me put things into perspective. Some things that I hear Pastor Sheldon say, it's just man, I needed to hear that. And, these are the thoughts that have been on my mind all week. And it's actually a good way to set it helps me set my new week, you know, my upcoming week, whatever that upcoming week is going to look like. Church helps me, you know, be ready for that and prepare for that on an emotional, mental, spiritual level. But I think there are some things that I need to work on when it comes to my faith, especially when it comes to things not working out the way that I expected it to. I think I need to have more faith. So one of my resolutions is to have more faith. Trust the process, trust the universe, trust the God that I believe in, the God that I've experienced. I need to give myself to that and just trust the process, because one of my rules are to trust the process. Do not try to control everything. Allow things to happen the way that they are supposed to. The universe is in control, not you. And if you just have faith and keep faith in that and in your beliefs, everything will be taken care of you. But I think in some moments, things get so hard that you start to lose that faith. You start to get upset, not only yourself, but even God, even the universe, the spirits, your guardians, the people who are watching over you. You know what I mean? The energies that are watching over you. You get upset because you're like, why isn't this working? This is what I want. I've asked for this. Why don't I have it? But it's coming. We have to keep the faith and understand that it is coming. We have to be prophetic in our word. We have to write things down and continue to speak out loud the things that, you know, I've said this on a previous episode before, but the things that you want, you got to speak it. Speak things into existence. Someone is listening. Have faith in that. Trust the process. Have faith. And I'm telling you this, but I'm also telling me this. So this is a resolution of mine, and the goal is to, you know, keep the faith, not take any crap from anybody, including myself, and don't let the past creep in. These are my resolutions for 2020. So share with me your resolutions for 2020, either on the DM or through email or on the website at whohowclub.com, at whohowclub on all social media sites, and whohowclub@gmail.com through email. And you can always touch base with me at only1eris on IG. I would love to know what your 2020 resolutions are. I'm also going to post a question, and I'll be able to share your resolutions on the next episode and give some comments. I will have a guest on the next episode, so maybe we'll find out what their resolutions are and just share everybody's resolution so that we're all on the same wavelength. This was a good check-in. I needed this. So shout out to everybody listening in. I hope with 16 days in, you're having a beautiful time. I hope you're learning something about yourself, learning about the universe, learning about your experiences, and just learning something new. Try something new for the new year. Don't continue to do the same thing that you do over and over again. Those parties and stuff, they will be there. You know, those friends, those people, the alcohol, all of those things will be there. Trying something new might not. And if a new opportunity comes your way, say yes. Take it from me. Say yes. If I didn't say yes, I wouldn't be having a new event next Tuesday, which is something that I've always wanted. The Who and How Club wouldn't have a residency 16 days in into the new year. If I never said yes, I wouldn't be talking to any of you right now. So yeah, I don't know. These are my words for today. I needed this. I hope someone else did, and I hope that someone else learns from this message today in this episode. So this is episode 19. Thank you to everyone checking in. Hopefully I'll see you all next Tuesday for the Rampage event at Blue Moon Lounge, January 21st, 2020. We start at 8 p.m., go to 11 p.m. Did I mention that it's a free event? It's a free creative artistic event and space, and your boy's hosting it, and we're going to have a good time, all right? Shout out to everybody who came out to Who Are You Part 2. We're going to be planning for Part 3 very soon. Shout out to everybody that was involved. And yeah, just thank you once again. And you know what? Shout out to me. I'm going to big up myself and say, Eris, you know what? With the grace of God and your faith, you've done some amazing work, and you brought some people together to work together. So sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. We got to start doing that in 2020 as well. So shout out to Eris. Shout out to you, the listeners, the supporters. You are the Who and How Club. I am the Who and How Club. We are the Who and How Club, the who's and how's of the world, for sure. We'll talk soon, all right? Episode 20. See ya. 1.